welcome to Dominating Diversity, the podcast where we explore all things diversity. I'm Brooke here, and today we have an extraordinary guest here who's seen both sides of all cultural divides and who's passionate about love and business and growth and can bring people together. So joining us today is Mohammad, the CEO and founder of Foreign Edge Consultants, an entrepreneur with a global vision. Mohammad, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Brooke, and it's for such a kind introduction. I'm looking forward.
Yes, me also. So, um, Mohammed, your journey is truly inspiring. From a background in law to studying international business management and now leading Foreign Edge Consultants, you've seen both the legal and business landscapes of both across different countries. What led you to bridge these cultural divides and focus so much on intercultural connections and relationships?
Uh, yeah, I think since my childhood, and especially when I went to London for my undergrad, that was like for my first international experience because before than that I was kind of restricted in my country. I was studying here, and then I think I took a bold decision, and I would give credit to my parents who let me go outside, not only outside my country but outside the continent. And so for me, UK and London was a different world for a teenager. So I think my university experience actually was a game changer for me because when I landed in London, it was like a complete diverse world because we had like hundreds of people from different nationalities, backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, linguistic backgrounds. And I got a chance to interact with them, firsthand, because firsthand experience is really crucial in developing intercultural connectedness because you get to hear a lot. You hear different stories, different stuff, which does not necessarily to be true always. So I think firsthand experience give you the chance to explore other cultures, other people from other cultures in a better way and in a more authentic way. So I think that really changed, and then I got to believe. And I think as much as I got into more and more connections with the people, I got I used to meet more and more people from different nationalities, ethnic backgrounds. My belief on humanity and mankind kept on increasing because I believe that whatever color we have, whatever nationality we have, whatever flag we have, what we are we are human. We are mankind, and that's what our basic introduction is. And we are basically the descendants of one creature, because there was like first man on earth, Adam. And we are all mankind, all humans are basically descendants of that lineage. So I think whatever, because this is for the world, because we have different religions, different cultures, different geographical boundaries. That's fine, but I think we should not forget humanity.
Yeah, I think as well, in this generation, we have the ideology. We do. And like my husband's Indonesian, so I did also fall in love interculturally. And that was really difficult for my family to fathom. What about you? Like your parents, do they have the same ideology, or did you like date a woman in London and they freaked out?
For my parents, like it was because they were in both were in Pakistan, and they had like kind of a same culture, but there was a diversity in that regard, that they were in different cities, and they belonged to a different religious sects, because
Oh,
in
yeah.
Pakistan, religion plays a major role in marriages,
Yeah.
and in, especially in marriages. So they had a difference of opinion in their religious sect, but still I think they agreed on most of the things, and they led a successful life. And while I was I was while they were bringing me up, so what I have learned, that it's always you have to be you should find a way to celebrate diversity. Yeah, everyone has like different beliefs, some national beliefs, some religious beliefs, but at the end, there's a common thing in every religion and in every culture, that is to respect the humanity. So as long as you're respecting the humanity and you're respecting the boundaries of others' cultures, I think you're good enough. And you
Yeah.
always find a way to celebrate different events, different different stuff together. So I think that was the way to go for my parents as well.
It's good. I mean, like we have Christmas here. We've had Christmas since I was born. I've had Christmas here, and obviously my husband grew up like a Ramadan and Eid, and we're very, very different people. And I don't know if you know, but when well, no one on here probably knows, but I think I was about 20, or yeah, I was 20, and I met Zain in Indonesia. I loved the culture that they had. All the families so close together, and the religion brought everyone together at all the different times, celebrations and loved ones lost, whatever it may be, the birth of babies. No, and I was 20, and I knew my parents would be upset about it. So I basically ran away to Indonesia, and I got married to my husband in a small little boarding school in the middle of Java. And I had to remember Shahada, and I'm going, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I can't remember. I keep going. And I finally learned the Shahada, and I remember practicing again and again and again for that. And then the next thing I know, we're married. And then but cultural differences can create barriers, but it's a very easy thought. It is an easy thought.
Yeah.
So I do see it in my own household, but you're saying that they can actually enrich relationships. So tell me how.
Yeah, like I would, first of all, I would really appreciate you, because it's never an easy job or easy decision to take to marry outside of your culture. Not only your culture, but outside your religion, your culture, and also your geographical boundary as well. But I think what it takes, and probably you would agree with me, that sometimes you have to take decision by heart.
Mm,
It's not necessary that you always use your mind. Sometimes you have to take your, especially the big decisions in your life, you have to take by heart as well. So yeah, you, when you go into other religions, when you go into other cultures, and you get a first-hand experience, and if anything, like, is it culture, is it something like their their heritage, anything, whatever fascinates you, I think you should always hear what attracts you there, like, in your heart. So if you're convinced by heart, if you're attracted by heart towards a different culture, or different, or person from different ethnicity or background, I think these are secondary or tertiary things. The primary thing is the connection. If
mm.
you feel the genuine connection somewhere, so I think then everything else becomes meaningless, because then you can learn new language, you can learn new culture, you can learn new religion, but obviously the main objective should be to find the peace in heart. So as long as you're finding the peace, I think peace is the most precious thing in the world.
What do you think it feels like to find the peace?
To find the peace, I think it's such a critical topic, because for me, internal peace is when you just feel that you are in a kind of a right situation. You do not have unnecessary fears. You do not have unnecessary irritation. You do not have unnecessary I would say doubts in your heart. You just feel like that, it's soothing, it's smooth. Finally you have landed, and it's just like I always say that, it's just like you are in a turbulent plane, and you have so much turbulence and all the stuff, and you're kind of scary, and then all of a sudden the pilot just announced that we have landed safely, and then you just, the sigh of relief that you have. I think this is what peace is, that, you just, all your fears, all your doubts, and whatever making you like scary, like, just like few hours or few days or few years ago, now everything got just settled down. So
Mm.
peace is such a it's a very static and a soothing vibe. Yeah,
Yeah,
and obviously it's the most precious one.
it sort of feels like the ropes are pulling you in, but you're letting it happen. There's no pulling back. It's a funny feeling, isn't it? So, can you tell me a story or an example of how love across borders has made an impact on someone's life or your own life?
uh,
Something,
hmm,
I
I
guess,
th- yeah.
something that celebrates that diversity of interculture. Yeah.
I think there are so many stories because for me, every story started with a misconception.
Mm.
When I landed in UK, I started studying there, and so obviously it was like people from different cultures all around me in my university, at work, and everywhere. Like wherever I go, I would meet people from different nations. So I had misconceptions about different cultures. I had misconceptions about different beliefs. So, but when I started to interact with the people and I started to share my ideas with them, and they started to learn things about my culture, and it was like it was the other way around as well. Like people had some false beliefs about my culture, about my religion, about my background. So it was both ways. So when I sat down with those people, we had discussions and stuff. So mostly we're like really convinced. And especially at my workplace, I used to work in Mark and Spencer and in UK, one of the leading retail brands. So I worked around 2 years over there as a part-time. After like every few months, I used to see that the people around me, they had more acceptability towards my
Mm.
culture, towards my religion, towards my, because they used to see me celebrating Ramadan, and they were like, okay, what sort of event is it? And you have to be like without food and drinks from like early in the
Yeah,
morning to
absolutely.
down to till the sunset. So that was kind of really inspirational, that how these religious values and cultural values actually had a long lasting impact on my counterparts and my friends at work, and similarly, as I say, for example, because it's a belief in here in worldwide that Pakistani Indians, they have a very adverse relationship. But when I met Indians for the first time in London, because obviously we have the issues, we don't go for more into India, and Indians don't visit Pakistan. So the only source of interaction is mostly outside the borders, like either in UK or UAE or America or Australia. So when I met some Indians at the start, my belief for that, for whatever basically whatever ideas and the political engineering that these politicians had done on the both sides of the border, that changed because people were so pure. They had full acceptance for us because we also like share our language with Indians. We share some of our cultural stuff with them as well. So they do understand us, and likewise we do understand them. But I just seen pure kindness, pure mankind, and that's it. We used to sit together, we used to eat together, we used to have fun together, and there was like no element of animosity, there. So that was one of the things that really changed. And then what I learned out of all these interactions, that if you are, you know if you let others experience your culture, and if you inspire them by your character, so definitely you become ambassador of your culture,
Mm.
because there are always good and bad people in every culture, like either it's Muslim or Hindus or Christians or Judaism. So they, from the inception of the mankind, there have always been good and bad people on earth. So we should not associate a taboo, or we should not basically categorize someone as bad or as good, because these are not a genuine classifications, because you can find like a good person in every community in the world. There's not a single community on earth where which you can categorize as bad or as a bad people.
Yeah,
There's nothing like that. So I think the one of the dilemma that we have, and one of the thing that really breaks my heart, is that sometimes we just kind of are under the influence of media, under the influence of some politicians, some media, some people who are just trying to take advantage through the animosity. We basically categorize certain cultures as bad, as
yeah,
extremist, as terrorist. But this is so bad,
yeah,
because I believe that this is something which is against the humanity, because then the consequences are really bad when you do that, because then you would have religion motivated attacks. You would have people attacking different religions, people of different. So that provocation actually bad for the global community, because because when we live in UK or global countries or global cities, we like different cultures. We are so interconnected that we celebrate our events together. As you mentioned, at Christmas or Ramadan or Eid, we never feel that we are people of different cultures, because when I was in there, we used to celebrate, wish Christmas to our British friends, and when it was Ramadan or Eid, they used to wish us happy, like Ramzan or Eid. They used to bring gifts for us, and likewise from our side. So I think that really shows that you should know how to celebrate the differences,
Yeah.
how to respect each other boundaries, and never ever, this is like my one to like my go-to line, my go-to phrase, and my go-to slogan, that never ever judge a community, never ever stigmatize a community, and never ever associate a taboo with the community, because we have good people in every community and we should always celebrate them.
Absolutely. I know growing up in Australia, there's a lot out there in the media. And at that time, when I met my husband, there was a lot in the media about Islam and Muslim people and ISIS and all of this stuff. And it makes you scared. So when I met my husband and I found out he was Muslim, they have an ID card and it says a religion on it. I sort of freaked out a little bit. I must admit, and I thought, oh my God, how am I going to tell my parents this? They're going to freak out. I'm thinking about my parents and my grandma. Then after a while of getting to know my husband, it wasn't about the religion anymore, but more about the person. And the more you got to know about the religion and the people, you go, these are just beautiful people. These are just a group of people. If you take the religion away, and if you take the culture away and you look at the person and you see through their heart, they're just beautiful people. They're not a group of labeled people. Then if we look at back in history of these groups of, I hate to say, but terrorists, people that were named terrorists, you look at them and if you look at the history, some of those people aren't even Muslim. So they were labeled a Muslim terrorist group, but then they're not even Muslim. They are bad people doing bad things. So I'm happy that you mentioned that because there is that definition of good people and not so good people. And it doesn't matter what culture they belong, it doesn't matter what religion they are. There's good and there's bad people. So thank you for sharing. It's incredible, and it shows the depth of connection that we can form when people are truly open to learning from one another. And with all of the political stuff going on right now, and you make it clear that there is no big, fierce disconnection between a Pakistani person and an Indian person, or all of these things that the media shows. It's not really like that, is it? What it is a media grab, really. Yes, there are things going on, probably politically, but that doesn't involve people that are good and are bad people, does it? It involves politics, really. Um, so as an entrepreneur, you who's worked multinationally, right? You must have faced challenges in bringing very diverse teams together. Where you work multinationally, there's always different cultures, different religions, different people. So that does make a diverse team. How do you leverage intercultural understanding in business?
I think it's again because whenever I go into a complicated situation, I always go to basics. So the basic rule of every intercultural relationship, either is at work, or let's talk about at work, is always to understand the basic understanding of the culture that the person belong to. So you should always I think have, because sometimes we do kind of hurt people by not understanding their religious values. So I think the first thing is to have enough information. We should have, because this is a we have AI, we have such like strong search engines. So I think it's not difficult to know about a culture, or about a religion, or about certain background. So I think first do your research. Secondly, always try to be flexible. For example, if I am working in an environment where I have a coworker who has a different religion, so and there's an event coming up where he need like certain off days. So as a manager, as an entrepreneur, definitely you should be kind enough to not only let him take the leaves, but also do something special for that person, to help them in their celebrations so that they feel valued. And likewise, I think likewise it's you should also do, because sometimes what happens that different cultures and different people from different backgrounds, they hold certain myths and they never discuss it, and they keep a grudge inside. And so I think it's always to be open, to have open discussions like platforms like this. And I think when you discuss stuff in depth, you get to know that the basics of the most religions is same, because no religion would ask you to go and spread hatred. No religion would say go and kill people. No religion would say to go and spread terror. So all the key religions, especially the Abrahamic religions, where obviously the Christianity and Judaism come from, because this is again something which not a lot of people know, that Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, they have one base, that's Abrahamic religion. So they come from same category. So and then they share so much stuff, all these religions that I mentioned. So definitely there are more common grounds than the diverse grounds. So you should understand that. And then again, every Abrahamic religion spreads peace. It's always allow you to do good stuff for others, make their lives easier. And when you follow these basics, definitely you can turn your workplace into such an amazing place where everyone finds such a deeper connectivity, and they feel that they are like a one family, one body. And when you create a culture like this, I think this definitely leads you to success.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we talked about before was we have good people, we have bad people,
Yeah.
obviously. But inclusivity is about understanding and accommodating and having enough understanding to allow people to show their strengths, no matter what it is, if it's through culture. So allowing people to be themselves, right? And whatever it consists of. So for our listeners who may be in or considering an intercultural relationship, what advice do you have for overcoming the inevitable challenges that come with those type of relationships? I've talked about them before on this podcast. There are those barriers. There's the good, bad, the ugly. And of course, no matter how much we try not to go through them, somehow it can happen. So please tell us.
I think whenever you have in a relationship, or because when I say relationship, it could be your intimate relationships, or your work relationships, or your university relationships. Because a lot of people from Pakistan, India, this part of the world, they do visit like European countries and Australia, New Zealand, all the like English speaking countries, for better education, because obviously they feel that it's like more global. These countries are more global, they have more to offer, they have advanced in technology. So that's why like millions of students from this, like from our region, from South Asia, or from like Asian region, they do visit the western part of the world. And for them it's something because whenever they enter the Western Peninsula, like the Western countries, they have some fears and they have some myths, and they believe that they are going into a different territory where they believe that they are endangered. But I think after spending some time, like some months, some good months, they believe no, it's not about like it's not necessary that a different culture will haunt you. So actually it becomes your strength, because when you have the understanding of most of the cultures, you believe that inclusivity is the way to go. Because it's not about, we are not like we are only, like we should not be divided on the basis of color or culture or country, because at the end we are all human, and we are all have holding such a potential in us. Because I believe it was my first year and we got a university project, and I had like we were like 7 or 8 people in that team, and everyone like only two people were from Pakistan, but other every other member was from a different group. So we had one Japanese, we had one person from Hong Kong, one from Africa, we had one from Australia. So we had such a diverse team. So my experience of working in a diverse team started from there. So obviously we had people from like different religions, different cultures, but we used to work so well in a team because our beliefs, our focus, our objective was like so clear that we always tend to work in such a, I would say, harmonized way. So yeah, like I think it's always achieving the goal with the right team. And when you believe that diversity is your strength, it's not your weakness, then things started to change for you.
Yeah, I think so too. And it took me a lot of learning about culture and a lot of learning about religion and people and the way people grow up makes them a completely different human being later on with different values and different motives. And, some of our motives might be very personal. To someone of a different culture, they might be more about motive for family or change, or there's a lot of different things that come with that. So that's just such valuable advice. And it's valuable because you are diverse, I'm diverse to you. And we've both got completely different frameworks that come with that, but they do come together in a harmonizing way at the end of it because inclusivity is something that's going to bring everything together, but our experiences are completely different. So, Mohammed, as we wrap up today's conversation, what's one final thought you'd like to leave with our listeners about intercultural relationships or love across borders?
I would just say that never hold yourself back by indulging in an intercultural relationship, because then where your actual experience starts, because we are creation of a different creator and who created us in the same way but with different characteristics. So at the end we are the creation of one creator. So we should never hold ourselves back in interacting with different cultures, and try to good learn things about different cultures, rather than because there's always like at least one good thing about every culture. So we have hundreds of cultures, and if we make a aim that we have to learn at least one good thing about one culture, so look how beautiful we can become, how developed, how groomed we can become. So I think it's always a mindset, because if you will see enemies and terrorists and all that media labeled stuff in others people, so you're not gonna find peace in this world. Always find good things about different people,
Yeah.
because human is one of the most beautiful creation in the world, because they have pure emotions, they have critical thinking, they have such a beauty inside them. So always have the right lens, always have the right mindset, and you'll see the world becomes so much better place for you and for your generations to come.
Sometimes I feel like if you're intercultural and you are holding back a relationship with someone of another culture because of beliefs that have been stored in your head via any source, you have to think that you have a heart and so does the person next to you. You have lungs and so does the person next to you. And we were made that way for a reason. So by holding back, you could be losing something incredible, right? So I want to say thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. It means a lot to have all diverse people on this podcast. And thank you to all our listeners for tuning into Dominating Diversity today. So remember, love knows no borders, and neither does understanding. So please join us next time as we continue to explore how we can connect, grow, and bridge divides in our ever-changing world. So take care and stay kind. And Mohammed, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think I would really appreciate you, because it's such a great initiative. Because I think this is such a critical time for this world, where we have seen wars having in different parts of the world, hatred taking place, taking precedence over love. So I think such beautiful and cultural bridging podcast would definitely spread positivity. And we need more and more podcasts like this, more and more people like you, who still have faith on interconnectedness and on cultural diversity and beautifying the cultural differences. So I think we need more people like you, and I would really congratulate you and appreciate you, and I wish you best of luck with your initiative.
No, thank you. You've given me goosebumps because that's exactly what we're all about. There's a very diverse group of people that listen and watch sometimes on our YouTube channel. And we get people from all over the world that are interested in coming on. And that's what's so important is that we're all one at the end of the day, right? And we're all willing to speak about the same thing, and it's diversity, and it's love, and it's not hatred. So I thank
Yeah.
you so, so much. So everyone stay kind, and until next time, have a great day. Bye.